Come on, Sev, we're on.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into round 5 of the SAS College Rugby League competition, our first live stream game of the year. We are live from Kelston Boys High School in West Auckland. We've got Kelston taking on Southern Cross campus today, and a fairly wet Kelston Boys High School, I will say. Heavy downpour earlier, making for a pretty greasy field down here, so that's going to factor into the game today. It's a clash of the two top of the table sides. I'm now going to welcome in Savannah, my commentary partner today, who's going to run us through the team lists.
Cool, so we'll start with the home team, Kelston Boys High School. In fullback, Connor Lopesi. Wingers, Ben Weatherall and Kinatone Lotule Lei. Centres, Mark Rasmussen, Valo Lasati. In the halves, Karie Loka and Conrad Tua. Props, we have OJ Lauhingoa and Tasi Lotima. Hooker, Kenneth Fonoti. Second rowers, Samuel Levatuve, Sione Sisifa, and lock, Elam Payne. In the interchange, we have Xavier Payne, Nehemiah Olivale, Trago Taraya, and Vaifa Aloisi. In Southern Cross, we have fullback Sione Ofa, wingers Stuart Whitehead, Junior Molly, centres Bolo Kosi, Tipi Leatawa. In the halves, we have AJ Poida Witchman, William Whakato Muffy, props for Noah Tohi, Alfred Vite, hooker Paia Fotu, second rowers Ofa Tuimana, Nitua Kairo, and lock David Finau. In the interchange for Southern Cross, Alexander Akana, Chase Roberts, Vincenzo Tapasoa, Viliami Tuimana.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is how the teams will take the field today. Of course, Kelston, perennial heavyweights in this competition, once again made the grand final last year as we see them coming out, led by Karie Yoka, of course part of the famous Yoka clan here at Kelston Boys. Brother Utah came through the system a couple of years ago, as well as Zion, both of them going on to play at higher levels with the Junior Warriors. One of a number of recent Kelston Boys graduates who have gone on to bigger and better things, Tuimoa Lolahea and David Fusitua, to name a couple of them. So the Kelston Boys now making their way out onto the park. Southern Cross already centre and ready to kick off today. Our middle referee today is Matt Granis. He will control the game from the middle of the park, just going through those final checks now. Well, Sav, it's shaping as a pretty good clash. Two top-of-the-table teams. What can you tell us about how they've gone so far this year?
Yeah, both of them are top of the table at the moment. So last week in round 4, Kelston Boys actually beat Otahuhu 12-6. Southern Cross ran away with an 18-12 win over Avondale College. So you guys are in for a quality match today. Yeah, the CRL Rugby League at the moment has been quite good, actually. They've all had low-scoring games. So, yeah, what can you say about that, Corey?
Yeah, well, that's right. And even looking at Kelston's results, we can see that their biggest winning margin so far, 8 points. So they've had a 4-2 result, win by default against Westlake, and then a 12-6 against Otahuhu. Their biggest win coming against Avondale, 24-16. So not quite the case for Southern Cross, who have had some big wins. In fact, they've only conceded the 12 points so far to date. A couple of big wins, 24-0 over Otahuhu. They beat Old College 42-0 as well, and Westlake 28-0. So both teams sitting at the top on undefeated records right now, but you would say Southern Cross probably the favourite coming into this one, given their form so far. A shout out to the linesman today as well, doing a great job. As the teams now go through their final chat here, the Kelston Boys High School coached by Francis Malley this year after years under Phil Gordon.
Boys.
So the final team huddle here for Kelston as they break away, and we are ready to go. It is round 5 of the SAS SAS College Rugby League competition, we should say. Our first live stream game of the competition so far. We'll be bringing you games for the remainder of the year, as well as the finals program, which we will run you through later in the match. But in the meantime, we're all set to go here. It's going to be Kelston who receive first. Southern Cross to kick down towards the club room end here at Kelston Boys High School.
Making sure you time your run, guys. Stay behind them. Timing your run.
And away we go. Round 5, SAS College Rugby League. It's a driven kick down low. It's taken an awkward bounce. Now, is that a knock-on? And at the end of it all, I think we are going to have a Southern Cross ball by the look of it. We wait for confirmation from referee Granis, but certainly a messy start to that one. Sav put it along the ground there and probably picked up a bit of dew, and, well, hard to tell where it came off, but looked like it came off the knee. So a scrappy start for Kelston.
Yeah, something that they don't want, actually. I could say that, for sure.
So a rough start for Kelston, but it does now look like we're still just trying to figure out who's going to get this feed. It is going to be Southern Cross. So they pack down now, and we are underway. Tohi with his first inclusion. Now they bring the fullback straight into it. Offa, who's tackled. 10 out from the line.
Holding, go.
Fotu shuffles play onto the big front rower. Good carry forward there by Alfred Vitti, 7th former.
Holding here, wait, go.
Swing it out the back. Good contact on the line though from Kelston. Little short dart out now to the left-hand side. Bulls loose. Good defence, Kelston, and now they break away. And there's a little bit of a foot race on here. Good cover defence coming across from Southern Cross. Whakatau Maifi getting there in the end. Now Kelston with a little bit of work to do. Working the ball forward. So some heavy contact early on here. And we've got a penalty for up inside the 10. So a frantic start here. Errors both ways. But Kelston, good defence on their line. They get the penalty now. Kick from 40 metres off their own line. Ioka to kick. And he hasn't found touch, so errors are plenty early on. Are they going to keep this in? And I'm wondering there why the winger, Whitehead, hasn't made a play at it. He had plenty of chances to keep that ball in play, so a bit of a strange one there. Savvy's let it roll dead.
Yeah.
And Kelston chew up a few extra metres, so Kelston now, it'll be a restart from a tap, given that it rolled dead. And back underway we go now into their work. Vatuvai carrying forward. 5 metres out from the line, tackled by Fotu underneath. Now they work the middle. Ioka now, nice little set play on out the back here. Ball spills loose, cleaned up by Kelston. We should make note, Kelston's fullback, Lopesi, is wearing the 10, and one of the front rowers, number 1. It may get a little confusing when you look at the rather large fullback and the rather small prop. So right up against their line here now, Southern Cross asked to do their first meaningful defence of the game. They go out the back one more time now. A little bit of footwork at the line that time by Rasmussen, who flicks play on. Good scramble defence. Last tackle coming up now.
Hold, go.
Ioka on the ball. Dribbles the kick in behind, but it's easily cleaned up at the back there from Southern Cross. So decent little start there for Kelston. Completed this set after a horror beginning, which saw them spill the ball off the kickoff, and now Southern Cross asked to do some work out of yardage.
Don't touch him. Holding. Go.
A number of these Kelston boys returning. We saw them in action last year. Lopesi at the back. Kadia Ioka, obviously. Conrad Tora as well as halves partner, who played in the grand final of the competition last year, which Kelston lost to St. Paul's College.
That's 4 boys.
So they swing it out the back now. And they're going to run it. Southern Cross now with a little bit of a play on here, but up out of the line, and that is potentially a try saver there from Lotu Lele, who comes out of screaming out of the line there, gets hands to the ball, and shuts down the Southern Cross attack. It was looking promising there, Sav. They went wide rather than kicking on last tackle, and managed to find some space. So scrum to pack down now. Southern Cross with back-to-back sets coming up.
First one was good, nice and tight, eh? Right, heads in. Last man in. Fall in. Wait. Out. All early.
And inside the 10, so Kelston compound the error with another penalty. Southern Cross to kick for touch into the stand here at Kelston.
Here we are, boys, on me. Holding here, wait for that tap, 6, hold. Go.
So back underway off the tap of Toimana.
Keep coming.
Turn back inside, that's huge contact. Welcome back to the College Rugby League. Big contact in the middle of the park.
He'd be
Now
feeling that one.
Absolutely. So our first big hit of the day, there'll be plenty more to come.
Stand up, don't milk it.
Southern
That's
Cross
3.
now wanting to go to the edges. He's felt it that time. Burrowing carry forward there by the big number 10, Albert Vitti. Mangere East under-18s player at club level. Right edge they go. Awkward ball down around the legs. They get an offload out the back, and again the spread's on, and they might get in here. Southern Cross, numbers out wide. We're going to need to wait for confirmation on that one. He's gone over in the corner, and our referee points to the spot, and there's a Southern Cross campus who open the scoring. Let's take a look now on our SAS Sporting replay, and you can see it was certainly pretty messy here. Low ball there, which was picked up nicely by Finau. The ball then comes out the back. It's knocked on at some point here by Kelston. But a good heads-up play here from Southern Cross to pick it up. They know they've got the numbers advantage, and then from here,
Thanks so much.
the try scorer looks like Junior Molly, and it is. Junior Molly scores in the corner for an early Southern Cross lead. It's going to be Whakato Mafi to attempt the conversion from right up against the sideline here, Sav, and in pretty difficult conditions with the wet ground as well. We had a little walk around the field earlier. Certainly feeling the effects of that earlier rain, so a difficult first up assignment here for the Southern Cross halfback.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Strikes it low. It's not going to have the legs and was away to the right anyway, so the score remains Southern Cross 4, Kelston 0. 7 minutes gone here in round 5 of the SAS College Rugby League competition, supported in conjunction with Hayden and Rollitt. Loyal sponsors of this competition, been around a long time now, these two sponsors, so a big shout out to both SAS Sporting Apparel and Hayden and Rollitt as Kelston now make their way back to restart play. Noticeable drop in temperature down here at Kelston as well as Ioka gets us back underway, and a difficult one which is picked up and runs straight back. Net head on though, good contact by Rasmussen down low. Now they're going to come out to this edge again, difficult pick up there, nice tackle down low by Vatuvei. They get to a quick play the ball down. They're rolling nicely here, Southern Cross. Finau comes in for a bit of work, just short of halfway.
That's 3, up you get. Don't wrestle, hold, go.
They'll turn back to the inside, but again met front on. That time it was Fornetti leading the charge, the Glenora Bear. They spin the ball out to the back now. They get to their kick via Poiri Winchman. Cleaned up at the back. Now have they forced him into touch? We're going to need to wait for confirmation from our referee.
Come out here, boys.
Looks like it is going to be a Kelston ball at the end of that one.
Head there, head there, head there. Take 2 steps backwards, mate, and everyone on you. Right, nice and tight, let's go.
So delay here as we wait for the return of the ball. Scrum packs down. Back to it we go. Tua receives at the back of the scrum. At that time by Kossi. A number of these Southern Cross boys also sitting in the Warriors development this year. Struggling for yardage a little bit here, Kelston. The Southern Cross pack starting to flex their muscle a little. We saw it in the last set, Sav. They rolled down the field pretty easy, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I would probably say commend Kelston for their defense in that last set. So they'll be looking to, or hoping, they have an advantage in this set coming forward.
That was 3.
To get to the kick. It's off the boot of Aoka. The chase is good as well from Kelston. Back to clean up is Whitehead. Whitehead looks up and sees a sea of red who's taken the ground here, and they drive him back a little bit. So good kick chase there from Kelston.
Holding here, wait, go. Up now. That's 2, all the way, Kelston. Go. That's good, boys, keep it there. 3.
Aoka arriving late there with the little shoulder, perhaps lucky not to be penalised on that occasion. Left edge they come again, and they're bit of a pattern developing here. Southern Cross keen to visit this left edge, test out the right edge of Kelston's defence. Now they jump out, and that's good meters on the offering there for Fotu. Finau gets to the bottom of dummy half. They come back towards the middle of the park. Whakaton Mafi looks to the skies. It's a difficult one to take. It's bounced, but Kelston clean up.
Release him.
Finau doing his best to slow the ball down. Now Tua jumps out of dummy half. Nice little run here from Conrad Tua. Was eventually ragdolled. Kossi getting involved for Southern Cross.
All the way. Right side, all in front.
Need to be careful with how long they're spinning in the tackle here. Another big contact out of the line. And inside on that occasion. So a pressure reliever here for Kelston. They'll kick for touch. 11 minutes gone. Remembering we are playing 25-minute halves in the SAS College Rugby League.
Right, here we are, boys. Waiting for that tap. Where you go?
So OJ Lahangoa in for the carry. Makes some good yardage. Good first up contact though from Southern Cross. And they miss out and they go out the back door now to Aoka. And now a little backline move on the offering here for Kelston. Now they step back inside. Ball gets spilt out the back.
Hands off!
Question if there was a knock on in there. Play on is the call. Lopesi jumps into dummy half. They centralise now through the big fella wearing the number 1, Tasi Lotima, who hands it off to Tua. Tua now, a little bit of second phase. They've got numbers on the outside here, Kelston. Southern Cross get across and scramble nicely. Just short of the line here. The home side pushing for their first points. Tua goes to the line. Conrad Tua, straight through Conrad Tua. Still short. Left edge they go now, Kelston. Ball spills loose. Good defence, Southern Cross. And they clean it up.
Right, standing now. Up you get, that's 0.
Up out of the line there. Fanotti, who's been heavily involved in defence so far. And again, some of the contact early on here, Sav. Even the backs are dishing it out.
Yep.
Leg tackle missed initially, and they're to be careful here. Finau eventually taking the ground.
Don't push forward, just stand up. Right side, thank you. No, four.
Fourth tackle now, just short of halfway of Southern Cross. Centralise up over halfway via Tohi. Last tackle now, they kick from dummy half. Looks like a pretty good one as well. It's going to sit up nicely. It's a beautiful kick. The chase is equally good as well. Does well to escape in the end, does Weatherall. Gets to play the ball. There's no marker there, and there's easy meters on the offering.
Move. Stand up. All the way. Hit there early. On now.
Nice little run there. They're making good yardage here. Kelston. Fanotti. Shuffles play on Aoka. plays at the line, brings his second rower into it. It's a nice carry by Vatuve, who's still fighting Vatuve. Now he wants a quick play of the ball. Not going to get one. Tua. Shuffles play on. It's a scrappy ball. Cleaned up by Lisati, who darts down the side. Last tackle coming up here for Kelston. Do they look to the bomb? Tua. They do indeed go high. Pressure on now at the back for Southern Cross. Nicely cleaned up, though, by the halfback. Safely returns it there. So end-to-end stuff. Kelston throwing plenty at them. But Southern Cross, their defence up to task so far.
Up you get. That's 2. That's 3. Clear now.
Southern Cross now working it out via Vincenzo Tapusoa. An Italian flavour to our college rugby league broadcast.
Knock on, boys.
Ball spills loose.
Scrum here, guys.
Some great defense shown by Kelston. I think Southern Cross has been struggling to get some yardage from the defense Kelston's displayed so far, Corey.
Yeah, you're right. And the outside backs are having to come in looking for a bit of work. But Kelston have been pretty resilient so far. And it's only really off their errors that they've conceded their points. So as time pauses, looks like we're waiting for a ball. You can see in the background there Francis Melly, a very handy man to have in your coaching staff. Of course, the former Toa Samoa and Kiwi international. Also had a storied career with the New Zealand Warriors and St. Helens. Finished his career off at Salford. And so an injury here, and there's going to be a forced replacement here, and it is Valu Lisati who's making his way to the sideline. Time goes back on. So the scrum to pack down right on halfway. Savannah mentioned it earlier. Kelston showing pretty good defensive strategy so far. They've been on the wrong side of the possession count thus far. But another set of 6 coming up here for the home side. Vatuve, who's been heavily involved early on, has had some good carries. Now off the back fence. Good carry forward there, still driving the legs. Lotima. Fanotti now shuffles play on Tua. He looks dangerous when he goes to the line. Shakes off one. Conrad Tua dancing his way through. Conrad Tua, now he wants the offload. Wrapped up nicely, though, in the tackle by Southern Cross. He is the danger man. There's no doubt about that. Fresh legs on the park. Uluvali is thrown to the ground. Back slammed. Plenty of noise from the Southern Cross crowd as well. Now Ayoko now. He's going to play short at the line. Almost put the big fella through. But the ball spills loose. They're their own worst enemy right now, Savannah. A number of errors from this Kelston team, perhaps just showing a little bit of a lack of patience.
Yeah, definitely. I would probably say from that defense that it is unfortunate that they are unable to convert those into points lately. 17 minutes to go into the first half, and yeah, just unable to execute their sets, really.
Yeah, you're right. They're doing plenty of good work off the ball, but their execution on it holds a little to wonder so far. So Southern Cross now to pack this one down right in front of the Hayden and Rollitt bolsters. You mentioned their records coming into this one. For Mags, started with a grinding 4-2 victory over Mount Albert Grammar. They then won by default against Westlake. They beat Otahuhu 12-6 before beating Avondale 24-16. So they're yet to rack up a big scoreline, although their defence has been fairly solid so far. Kelston, for Southern Cross, a couple of big victories. 24-0 over Otahuhu. They smashed Aorere College 42-0, beat Westlake 28-0 as well. We see an injury down there, so another time off. So time to pause here now as Paia Fotu is down injured. So a bit of concern being shown for the injured player down on the ground here. Does look okay. He's rolling around, perhaps a little winded there, but he is going to stay on the park. So we wait for the resumption of play.
You good to go, mate?
Southern Cross, well,
Hold in there,
they've been a contender in this competition the last few years, but they've really saved their best for the national tournament. Back-to-back national champions. On one of those occasions, they did beat Kelston. So back to it we go. 18 minutes gone.
Holding. Wait, go.
Short at the line. Good play from Southern Cross, just about put Aloisi through the gap.
Chasers are good.
They look to the heavens once again. A difficult one at the back for Weatherall. He's going to let it bounce. It's taken by Southern Cross, and now they've got numbers out here on this right edge. Southern Cross, Kelston getting there in numbers, scrambling across. They tackle him on last tackle. It'll be a handover. They're letting the ball bounce, playing Russian roulette in many respects.
All right, we're standing now. Holding. Go.
So Kelston now ruck it out from their own end. See Conrad Tua there, barking instructions. Played in the under-16s grand final for Ellerslie last year at Mount Smart Stadium, just days after losing the SAS College Rugby League final, actually.
Markers up, square.
We've seen how dangerous he is when he runs the ball. He's got footwork. He's also deceptively strong for his size. So with 5 minutes to go,
Up now, that is 4.
it looks destined to be a fairly grinding affair here at Kelston now. Ioka's going to drive it high and long, and it's a pretty good kick as well. He's got them turned around here, Southern Cross. The chase not bad from Kelston. Returned with a bit of vigour there as well.
Up now. Just stand up. Go. Pow! 2. Up now. Wait here. Wait. Go.
Back to the middle they come now. Good carry forward. It's good stuff here from Southern Cross.
All the way.
The outside backs really getting involved in the yardage work. See another carry here. A little bit of footwork at the line this time.
Standing now.
My apologies, it's looks like Finau on that occasion. Now they play at the line now. A little bit of footwork from Whakatomafi. And they get the penalty at the end of it now. Rain starting to come down here at Kelston boys as well as we head into the final 3.5 minutes or so of this first half. Penalty in front of the post. Savvy tempted to go for the 2. They're not. They're going to tap and play on through the second rower.
Right, we're standing now.
Kairau,
Play on. No markers.
New Zealand Secondary Schools rep. Short ball to the big
Here's
fella,
the line, up you get.
Tohi. Left edge they come again. It's their favoured edge. Good first up contact, that time by Ioka. Shuts down the wrist, ball spilt loose, there was no hand in there.
I think it's the rain, Corey.
Absolutely.
It's the rain.
Starting to really bucket down here now at Kelston, and a contributing factor in that era, no doubt. So reliever for Kelston though, who really did face the prospect there of conceding right on half-time, which, as you know, save points either side of half-time, almost worth double really when you factor in, I guess, the mental advantage it can give you sometimes, just getting that little boost before the break. So Kelston now to pack this one down. We've got about 2.5 minutes remaining in this half. Conrad Tua now goes to the line. A little bit of footwork first. Conrad Tua, look out, he's on the break here. Conrad Tua pins the ears back. Conrad Tua, the foot race is on. Steps back inside once again. Tua now still going, eventually dragged down from behind by Whitehead. He wants a quick play of the ball.
All the way.
They head out to this left edge and they've dropped it. Oh, a coach killer there. They had the numbers advantage. Conrad Tua had done some wonderful work inside the 10 is the call, and so if you have to wonder if that's probably a sin bin in there as well, if they've been inside the 10 there, almost intentionally slowing things down, you would wonder. So chance not spurned yet for Kelston boys. They get things back underway. This could be the last set of the game, or the half I should say. Uluvali carries forward. Payne to Yoka. Fresh legs on the park in the shape of Aloisi. 5 out from the line now. Watch out for Tua.
Never went to ground.
Finotti jumps out of dummy half. There it is. They're back even. And it was that simple in the end. Jumps out of dummy half. There's no one there. Let's take a look on the SAS Sporting replay. And remembering, it all starts with Conrad Tua's long-range break. And he's gone about 60 metres, Conrad Tua, weaving his way inside and outside. And then from here, Finotti jumps into dummy half. There's no marker there. He sails them with a little dummy and then goes over too easy in the end serve.
Yep, sure. Definitely too easy for that one. I don't think Southern Cross scrambled enough in time for that.
And perhaps just feeling the effects of tracking back on the chase on Conrad Tua as well. It was a fairly frantic few moments. They were lucky not to end up with a man in the sin bin with Southern Cross after conceding the penalty on the big break. But this is going to get us to half-time. Tua is going to attempt the conversion.
Could be enough for Kelston to snatch the lead after half-time, actually. So,
yeah, that's right. We just mentioned it earlier, how vital points are at this time of the game. And Kelston with a timely strike. Right on the break. Tua with a fairly regulation kick, you would say, for a player of his calibre. Of course, these conditions mean anything can happen. So it will be half-time at the conclusion of this kick. Tua to give his side the lead. And off the upright. And so the score will remain Kelston Boys High School 4, Southern Cross Campus 4, half-time and round 5 of the SAS College Rugby League. We're now going to take a short break before we return with the second half here at Kelston Boys High School.
Second half, no, we've got about a minute 10. You'll be the same age as Sal, the silver game. I get pretty worked up for seeing heart attacks not far off. New part. Thinking of it, coffee. I start calling you the new part, eh? Just grooving you. Yeah? Oh, that's. Yeah. I was wondering if you wanted to try that.